Memorial Day morning. It is an absolute honor to be speaking in front of my God, my family, my friends, and all of you great green machine-loving Americans. To those that make this ceremony possible, that put these flags up, thank you. It's breathtaking. Before I commence with this address, I want to dedicate my words to number one, all the soldiers, airmen, sailors, Marines, and Coast Guard who have paid the ultimate price to secure our liberty. Number two, our founding fathers who, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, pledged to each other their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor for the manifestation of our country. And number three, more personally, to my grandfathers who served our nation before me, U.S. Army Major James C. Nash, U.S. Army Colonel Albert L. Romaneski, U.S. Army First Lieutenant Virgil Ford, and U.S. Navy Seaman First Class Cliff Johnson. It is a humbling challenge to find the right message commemorating those whom I dedicate this speech to on this Memorial Day 2012. A challenge I do not take lightly. While I find it honorable to speak to all of their accomplishments and sacrifices and wars and struggles throughout our country's history, I believe I need to do something more. I believe it is crucial in our current times to deliver a message that I believe in my gut they would deliver to us on how to secure the future of our America, on how to safeguard our very precious life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. These words are, of course, my humble opinion, but from my experiences, studies, relationships, personal reflection, and common sense, I believe them to be accurate. The first point of advice that I believe the American heroes we are commemorating today would tell us is the need to live and enrich our faith in God. In the relatively small amount of words that comprise our Declaration of Independence, God is referenced 4 times. Both historical and present-day laws of our land reflect the 10 Commandments of the Bible in many substantial ways. As we look at our forefathers' words and actions, we are a nation that was built and risked on the firm reliance of divine providence. We are the first nation in the world to place boldly on our founding document that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These ideas had never before been brought forth into a governing action. I am convinced this early reliance on faith, divine providence, and righteously inspired rule of law spurred forth the most prosperous, secure, just, and free society the world has ever come to know. Yes, I believe those Americans whom we are celebrating today would tell us to hold strong to our faith. For it is faith that acts as an individual's moral compass, faith that pushes our discernment to freely and correctly side with God's will and the natural laws of man, and faith that ultimately demands individual responsibility, accountability, and clarity for the long-term securing of our nation and way of life as free individuals. The second point the American warriors that we are honoring today would advise us to do is to love and support our families. America is a country unlike many in the world where we are largely left alone to raise our families in the fashion and manner that we value as individual parents of children. Next to the individual, it is the fundamental building block of our society that must remain strong. It is the family unit that is best suited to provide the immediate support and healthy solutions to both expected and unexpected challenges that life is guaranteed to bring to all of us. It is our strong families that have the ability to reach out charitably to those whom unfortunately are not either surrounded by a supportive family unit of their own or whom are in need of an all-hands-on-deck type effort to address something catastrophic. This has been the mode of operation that I have seen growing up in Geneseo. And on a side note, my family and I thank all of you and feel very blessed for having lived in such a supportive community as this. It is my opinion that a family exists to be that flesh and blood with you in the foxhole of life. It should have your back and you have its back through all of life's slings and arrows, especially when that proverbial tough love and painful reality check is necessary. A strong family unit and furthermore, local community support structure are imperative to America's functional design. Families and communities are essential to us both as social beings needing a sense of belonging and as problem-solving entities to further advance self-governance. As for the intangibles, most can attest, there is no greater, more pure joy than watching your family members grow strong and succeed throughout life. Hearing my son Adam successfully repeat the Pledge of Allegiance on his own a few months ago was cooler than my first flight piloting an F-16 fighter jet. On the flip side, loving your family is guaranteed to be quite difficult at times. My family sarcastically calls such difficult instances as moments of domestic bliss. Whatever amount of domestic bliss we individually experience through various circumstances, the sense of purpose and strength a strong family can bring to its members can be one of the greatest joys an individual human may ever experience on this earth. My friends, strong family units are not a foregone conclusion of failure in current America. It's simply a choice that we individually need to make every day. The choice to cultivate strong families and communities must become the norm in our land once again. Thirdly, I believe the American patriots we are saluting today would deliver to us a message about freedom. We are the first nation in the history of the world to consider each individual as a sovereign being. The Declaration of Independence specifically outlined that the natural state of an individual human being is free from coercion, theft of property, fraud, and violence from another individual, group of individuals, and/or government. Hence the important words, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Furthermore, the Founding Fathers wrote that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. The manifestation of the Declaration of Independence was our new country and the ingenious United States Constitution. Its concept of rule of law and not men, blind justice and equal protection under the law, its requirement of government representation from a voting republic of citizens, its idea of a limited central government and enumerated powers, its powerful Bill of Rights to secure freedoms for the individual citizen and states of the Union, its inherent protection of private property and free markets, its amendment process to right the wrongs of human imperfection. All of those aspects made us the most prosperous, secure, and free people that the world has ever witnessed. It is a government created of the people, by the people, and for the people to secure individual liberty. This concept of liberty was so powerful, even the abomination of slavery on our land could not survive. However, our nation and our Constitution did, creating a more perfect union by actively and passionately correcting a horrible wrong. It was the words and ideas of our founding and governing documents that could never allow the hypocrisy of slavery to survive for long. You see, that is the beauty of our country. The desire for awake and conscientious Americans to live in freedom shakes our very bones, let alone resounds in all of our texts. Not only do we know in our gut that is endowed to us by our Creator, but we have witnessed and can profess to the reasons why. These reasons are spelled out time and time again to us throughout our American heritage and founding documents. And because of such, it is easy to demonstrate how we have prospered greatly. As obvious as the concept of individual freedom and liberty should be to all of us, I worry that those we honor today, who we now carry the torch for, would deliver us a message of caution. As Ronald Reagan once said, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. I worry that many Americans are asleep. Many are too busy to actively educate themselves and participate in our country's challenges. And many are too comfortable with trading away liberty for some form of offered security, bargained favor, or new statute to placate a human emotion. To continue to live in liberty, we must wake up. We must start seeking the truth on current issues, even if it is hard to face. We must educate our minds with the accurate context and facts of history to see how to avoid disastrous mistakes of the past. We must educate our children as to what it means to be an American, such as how to dream big, achieve big, overcome difficult challenges and failure, value honesty, work ethic, honor, content of character, integrity, foster love and individual charity, and teach why it is right and good to live in liberty, self-reliance, and faith. As adults, we must live like Americans too. We must honor our individual responsibilities and hold ourselves accountable for our own decisions. We must celebrate our own individual pursuit of success and honor the same pursuit of others. We must stand courageously for faith and good in the world, defend against tyranny of all forms, and never shy away from calling what is evil, evil. Without a doubt, we have inherited the greatest nation on the face of the earth, the greatest form of government, the greatest protection of individual liberties, the greatest method of fixing our mistakes, and the self-evident truth that all men are created equal. Equal in what? You might ask. We're equal in liberty. You bet, folks. We have every reason to hold our heads high and stand tall as Americans. For it's individual liberty that Americans must always demand, argue for, and defend at all costs. This Memorial Day, I'm convinced those that made the ultimate sacrifice for this country would tell us right now to make liberty our passion, to make liberty our only allowable means of conducting our individual lives. It is truly within our choice to make happen. In conclusion, all of us who have worn the uniform and or have sat in elected office, both past and present, swore an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. As Americans, we all must solemnly and sincerely do the same to make the great experiment of self-governance work. As Americans, it is our honor and our duty to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So there it is. Faith, family, and freedom. That is my opinion of the message that would be delivered to us today from those who sacrificed all for liberty. We here today now carry the bright torch of America that was passed on to us. We here today develop the young Americans who will soon carry it beyond us. Will we follow such wisdom from our nation's honored patriots? I pray every American's choice has already been made. God bless America, and thank you for letting me speak here.
Thank you, Major. Very speech. Well, the umbrella's over now.